There we go. Damn. What's up, man? Sorry, guys. I don't know what the hell, man.
Is it on the same?
No, it's a different one. Can you post a new one to the Patreon, please? Mm-hmm. Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what the fuck happened, man. It's not our internet. It was the hardware. It's a hardware issue. Sorry about that.
Yeah, the thing just froze randomly.
Yeah, my hardware actually froze. So it's kind of crazy. This never happened before. But anyway, we're back here, and it says excellent connection, so I think this is good.
Do you need me to post it to the Discord as well, or?
Yeah, you can.
Hang on, let me delete the last post. Y'all can keep talking. I just need to I can't multitask.
I've realized that I cannot write and talk at the same time. Like, I have had meetings this past few weeks, and I'll be talking on the phone and writing something down. I can't talk and write.
Hold on a second, guys. I don't know. 1 second. It's fucking... All right, we back on. So I think it's my phone, man. My phone was fucking it up.
Your phone?
I'm pretty sure. So I had my phone on to in case the thing goes out, the main internet.
Is our audio back on?
Like a backup. So I'm sorry about that. I hope it's good this time, man. I really hope. Thanks for liking the video, whoever just did that. I'm sorry about all this. Kind of crazy.
Wolfie said, perfect now.
Okay,
We
good.
We good.
A damn phone, man.
Yay.
Sorry,
Shit.
guys.
I was like, what the fuck? I don't know what's happening here, man.
Where can I find this thing, this link?
On YouTube.
Okay.
What the fuck? All right, let me just get right back into it. So,
I'll find it.
I'll text it to you.
we are doing trivia today, right? You got trivia questions?
Yeah,
I got it.
Shram is about to school everyone in trivia. That's how this goes.
Nice. We got some cool trivia prizes here. Got some new stuff. Check some of this stuff out. We got this, The Final Truth by Pee Wee Gaskins.
Ooh.
The autobiography
the
that's
book.
banned. And I don't know how, this is actually a rewriting, and it's a limited publishing, and I'm pretty sure the publisher got sued for doing it, because you can't just publish a book because it was banned.
Isn't that the point of banning a book, so it won't be published anymore?
Also, I have, I know it's not murder related, but any real true crime fan out there will know what this is. I have a basketball card in mint condition. So if you know what that is, then...
A Mark Jackson basketball
you belong here. Also, we are doing some Halloween stuff this year. So I do have a live stream idea, but I need Jen to actually agree to it before I say what it is. So
That's like something that I've learned from knowing you over the past 5 years that I don't know that I can comfortably do.
well, I just need you to do it. You got to trust me. It's nothing like with penises.
Does Naquiz know what it is?
No. It's going to be a live stream, Halloween themed. Nothing scandalous or whatever.
I don't believe that.
But I need you to say, yes, I'm in. I need you to say, yeah, I roll with you guys.
What day?
I don't want one day in October.
All right, I'll roll with you guys.
Sweet. All right. So here's my plan. For a live stream for this October, whatever day, I am going to do Ed Gein podcast or Ed Gein episode research. And I was thinking maybe if you guys would be cool with it and, you know, we can light some candles and turn the lights out.
Oh, no. I'm opting out. No.
We can possibly contact Ed
I will
Gein.
say, Shram called dibs. She's at 9 points, and she wants that board.
I can't. No, I'm no. No.
You already said yes.
But that's not fair. Like, you know how I feel about those. No.
This is one of the original published Ouija boards from 1970.
It's in the 70s,
72. Ages 8 to adult, Jen. 8 years old. I know there's somebody you want to contact.
No,
Jen.
I want nothing to do with that.
Who we contact?
I don't want anything to do with that.
Who we contact?
I'm not doing it. No.
It is not even real. You know,
I'm not doing it. No.
Shramlin says it does come with the board and the planchette. So, and everything seems to be in good working order. Jen, just hold this planchette.
No.
Just hold it.
No, I'm not touching it. I don't want that anything near me. No, get that shit away from me.
Jen, what the fuck?
I don't fuck with that. You know I don't fuck with that. I'm serious.
You know what the thing that John asked me to just say, like, just say yes to the movie that I really want us to watch this year in for Halloween. I was like, what? Like, is that what you want to watch this year? And it was, what was it?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
There you go. So I unknowingly agreed to that, which I'm just going to have to be.
Jim, why would you agree to something without knowing what it is?
Because for some reason I trust you, and I'm still trying to figure out why. Now, Dee says to salt the board for what? What does that do?
Fuck, I don't know.
I didn't know that was a thing. I've never heard that before.
Dee, listen, you're going to hate me, but we had a really rough week, and I lost like 2 days of researching, and so we're not doing the Charles Ng and Leonard Lake story today. I'm sorry. What the fuck?
That's okay.
I was going to put a small story together with it, but I just don't have enough research done yet. I'm so sorry. I know you're going to get mad at me.
It's all right.
And you're probably writing something in all caps right now, but...
No, she's answering my question about salting the Ouija board.
But anyway, shit. It's not lagging on this end, so oh fuck, there it goes. Shrammarama, you made it lag here. Fuck, I don't know what it is at this point. Anyway, let's take a shot. Maybe that'll help it.
There you go. So we have a surprise shot for Elizabeth today. I don't think I saw something specific requested for Elizabeth, but you know what, Elizabeth, if you send us one later, I'm sure we'll take it at some point. So this one's for Elizabeth.
Surprise shots, surprise shots. We don't know what they are because they're a surprise.
I will say Summer has a very special request that she posted in the Discord, and I'm really looking forward to it. So just Summer is a couple away, but that's okay. Cheers. Tastes like fall.
It is fall.
Fake fall. It's fake fall here. Ugh, that was a fireball. If you couldn't tell.
Which was better, Fireball or Jack Fire?
They taste exactly the same to me.
They're very similar.
Yeah.
Jen, do you want me to put that board in the closet? I know it's freaking you out, man.
No, it's fine.
Why don't you like that board?
I just don't. I've heard bad things can happen. One time.
That's no, the bad one is the devil's board. That's just a regular Ouija board. A devil's board is actually like you know how a priest will bless a house? It's pretty much blessed by, Satan worshipers and stuff.
How do you know? I'm assuming you got that at Goodwill, correct?
And also like it's...
So how do you know that the person who owned it before didn't do some freaky shit with it? You don't.
We don't.
Oh, no, I hope they did. That's the whole point. That's the reason I got it. You don't know. Like, you know what I'm saying? There could be a spirit in there right now trying to get out.
Well, I'm not trying to fuck with that.
Jen, that shit isn't real,
It is
man.
real. It is real. Ghosts are real.
It's real if it's real to you.
Yeah, that's called apophenia, okay? You need to get that checked out.
I'm not doing it.
What's up, Darren?
I'm not touching. I will sit in the room with you, but I'm not going to put my hands on that. I'm not.
D is...
It's all right. Sharam is calling dibs on it, and she is 1 point away.
I am going to bring my rosary beads, and I have some holy water back home.
I'll bring some beads, too. But
not anal beads.
Good for you, Jen. You know exactly what joke he was making. I love it.
Dee still hasn't responded, so I'm pretty sure she's mad at me.
Hi, Darren.
Dee, so here's the thing with that story. It's, I didn't want to just put anything. All right, I'm just going to be completely honest with you. The Wikipedia page is long. I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm.
Ooh, Dee says her mom messed with one. It changed her life. It answered a question about JFK. Can you tell us the question and answer?
Yes.
Oh shit! That bottle just fell.
No, Nicole knocked it over.
I knocked it over.
I know the difference between reality and non-reality.
All right, Jen.
And I am telling you that I'm not touching that Ouija board. I'm not.
What if you do it on a live stream while we're in the house and you're like in your car?
I will sit in the room with you, but I will not touch it.
Oh, you'll sit in the room with us?
I will not touch it.
Okay.
I will
That's a
not
fair
touch it.
compromise. So we're gonna need to do this like next week because Shram will undoubtedly get to her 10 points, and we'll have to mail it out.
And it is okay, Jen, if we before we do this, look up your family history and try to find out who to contact in your family.
No.
He's so difficult.
Because I'm not asking anyone to come. I'm not going to participate, but I will sit in the room with you.
Well, I mean, that's fine. I mean, ghosts aren't just confined to the players of the game. I'm not trying to open a world in here, and summon, what's his name from Stranger Things? What was it? Necro? No, not Necro. What was the guy's name? I
can't remember. I want to rewatch Stranger Things again. So good.
All right, guys. Darren, I am doing your request again today. I actually...
Oh, wait. Are we actually doing Darren's request? Because last time you said we were doing Darren's request, it turned out it was not him, and it was a very strange story.
It was.
What was it?
It was the sex story.
Something. Like I said, this week has been completely rough for us. I missed basically 2 days researching, and we're still really, screwed up because we were we got 1,000 mosquito bites. We're walking in these deep woods. It was just terrible, man. And we didn't find her till 4 a.m. And then my whole day, the next day was completely screwed up because, I couldn't do anything. We didn't get any sleep. You know what I'm saying? It was just terrible. So we're just now getting recovered. Anyway, I'm
still out of it, honestly.
I had this story planned prior, and I just never have done it. So I thought it'd be a perfect opportunity. And next week, I'll have the whole Leonard Lake story out for you. I promise. It's a crazy story, but you got to admit, Dee, it is a lot. So because there's so many multiple parts there.
Next week, in addition, when we record, it will be Hubble's birthday.
That's right.
So we'll have a
birthday party
for him.
and because Saturdays are my days where I can have my celebration meal, we'll be able to partake.
We can have a little cake for Hubble.
Yeah.
Also, after
can we get Doggy? I'm gonna bring Doggy cupcakes for all the dogs.
Oh, I can get Frosty Paws.
Oh, Frosty.
Yeah, I can do that.
All right, guys, after this episode, we are going to do a private one for our Taco Supremos, and I just want to get you guys kind of aware of what it is, and I want to ask the question of what part of the body would most likely have the same texture or taste as a Rocky Mountain oyster.
Oh, God, no.
Have you ever had a Rocky Mountain oyster?
No, have you?
No.
Why'd you say it like that? Do you know what it is?
I know what it is.
What?
It's a bull testicle.
How'd you know that? Why did they call them oysters? Things. I don't understand.
It's because there's no seafood in the Rocky Mountains. There's no so they call it a Rocky Mountain oyster. Like
my mom has some story about going to a restaurant and she was with somebody and they didn't know what it was and ordered it. And the person ordered it. And my mom had told them what it was afterwards, I believe. We'll have to ask her next time she comes to visit.
But we'll do that episode after this. And I guess we won't do the trivia rules. I think everyone knows.
Everybody knows. And all of these questions, I've got one from... I mean, you can still send some. Are we doing a small story or we just have the one today?
No, we're doing this story and another. Both kind of small.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure I'm checking my messages for more questions later. I know Natasha also sent one.
But I didn't want to just rush a story out. So I did stay up, story. I just, I don't know.
Yeah, Martin said the guy who ate Kevin Bacon was the other one that we were talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I read that article this week and I was like, I can't believe that there was another human out there named Kevin Bacon.
I mean,
and at first,
well, did you know Kevin Bacon actually sent him a Instagram thing that says, I'm serious. Like
Same.
kind of a rip, you know.
No, but I will say at first I wasn't sure if it was like an Onion story or something sarcastic, because one of the first, like in the first or second paragraph, it said the family didn't realize that, like, didn't know what was going on because Kevin Bacon didn't show up for breakfast. And I was like, is this like, is this a joke story? And then I continued reading and realized it was not.
It was not.
All right, guys, let's get started on this one, man. We're actually going to New York today. Has anybody been to Oyster Bay?
No.
Okay, so here is, whose birthday is it?
Sable's birthday is the day after Hubble's.
Wolfie, don't donation drop off at Goodwill. Donation drop off to the post office and send that shit to us. All right, so here's where we're going to tonight. We're on Google Earth, and for the next episode, I just want to say, if you guys aren't supporting us, no worries. That'll be out next week. So I know times are tough, even for us. So this is Oyster Bay right here. If you don't know about Oyster Bay, it is it's not a private community, but it is a wealthy community. Let's see. I think this is it. Wait, or I thought it was supposed to be an island. Hold on a second. Oyster Bay. Let me see. No, it's a town, huh? It's the first time I looked it up. Nassau County.
Oh, that's Long Island.
Yeah, Long Island. Well, I guess it kind of is an island.
My parents met on Long Island.
Anyway, this is where we're going to tonight, and this is an old story. I believe this is Darren's story. I'm not really sure.
We're just gonna go with every story we're not sure about as Darren's story.
But then you're gonna make him think that you're actually doing his request,
Is Hubble gonna be 5?
Yes. I know.
My little baby boy. Oh.
All right, so tell me if this is your story, Darren. I'm not sure. But so tonight we are going to August 27th, 1906. This is a great story, and I read a great book for it, which we're going to be talking about. But Oyster Bay, Long Island, August 27th, 1906. This is
an oldie but a goodie.
This is a extremely wealthy neighborhood.
Okay.
And in 1906, it was the spot. As you're going to see, the president would spend his holidays in Oyster Bay. And this community we're going to was private and had huge estates. Now this is
like Gatsby.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so the president
that was Long Island.
The president being Roosevelt at the time would spend months there in these
Teddy, not
glorious
Franklin.
Estates.
Correct.
It's time for a new deal.
Wrong Roosevelt.
FDR.
Or the teddy bear one.
Yeah.
August 27, 1906, there was a family, a Charles Henry Warren and his entire family. Charles Henry Warren is an extremely wealthy and popular man. He's extremely successful as well. He's the president of the Lincoln Bank, and he's the private banker to the Vanderbilt family.
Okay.
So very influential and very successful.
Have you guys been to the Vanderbilt estate in Nashville?
I have not.
I haven't either. I heard it's really pretty.
I really
Christmas
wanted
time.
to do the Biltmore too, but
maybe that's what I was thinking.
No, that's
of.
what you're thinking of. The Biltmore's
Biltmore.
in Nashville.
Sorry.
Nashville.
Yeah.
Similar. Tomato. One
Vanderbilt,
is Tennessee.
Biltmore.
Yeah.
I don't know geography.
Super wealthy people.
Darren, is this your story? Have you said anything yet? And also, no one's said anything.
Oscar.
Oh, yeah, Oscar said, what's
says,
up?
"What's up?"
I was just checking here to see.
Or should I say gang? Yeah. Don't leave us out, Oscar.
He said, what's up, John, and background noise. Sweet.
No.
So August.
Lauren's here too.
What's up, Lauren? August 27, 1906, a rented summer home. And this is the first time I have ever heard this.
Of a rented summer home?
No, not, I mean, all right. When we get rich, we'll rent a summer home.
Why can't we own it?
All right.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. This family, the Warren family, not only rents the summer home, but also brings their gardener with them. And all their...
Because the gardener does extracurricular activities, or is he just a gardener?
No, just to garden a summer rented home.
Well, I mean, like
to trim bushes in a home that they're renting. I mean, how rich do you got to be?
You got to be pretty wealthy to have help travel with you.
To be fair,
that's
like
my favorite murder money right there.
If you want to enjoy your summer, you don't want to be cutting the grass.
Right? No.
Yeah, but what the fuck?
We don't even cut our own grass now when we're
just
not
let
wealthy.
it grow out.
I cut my grass, but I need to get someone soon because my grass is going to get overgrown, especially in the back, and I can't go out there and cut the grass right now.
It is the best $150 a month.
Hey, if there's
spent.
Well, I was doing.
If there's no grass on the field, turn around and play in the mud. All right, so the owner of this estate.
I don't like that reference, but I know what you're. I know what you're talking
and
about.
I've not heard that before.
But like,
nasty.
But some people don't like grass. Some people like a.
Well, I like landing strip grass. so I can.
No, let's just stop.
So I can land my very
No.
small airplane inside.
I'm sure.
Whoa, there's so much room in this hangar. Holy shit!
I'm sure that there is.
How have this is all out of one shot? I'm just saying, guys.
I know. Grab that bottle, yo.
Nope.
What the fuck? I'm trying to heal. Jesus, my hand swelling's gone down.
Was it swollen a lot?
Yeah, I thought he broke it at first, but maybe we might have gotten away with a bad sprain.
Do you want me to check it out?
Yeah, that's a good idea. Jen went to school for athletic. What was it? What's
athletic training?
Thank you, athletic training.
Yeah. So Jen's like right here, and when I do this, Jen, it hurts the most.
Then you
Yeah, maybe
shouldn't
don't
do that.
I'm just trying to help. You know, I am far too nice to you for some of the ways that you treat me. Sometimes
What
I
are you
lash
talking
out.
about?
You are not nice to me sometimes.
He treats you like a sister.
Yeah, that's true.
So
Instead of a daughter, which you are, because you came out of Nicole's vagina.
That is not
God.
true. That is
we
not
are
true.
the same age. So anyway,
Oyster Bay, August 27, 1906. Charles Henry Warren and his family. He's the president of the Lincoln Bank. He works for the Vanderbilts. He brings his family to this summer home, and let me tell you how wealthy this neighborhood is, because this is going to be a big part. Not only does the president spend his summers here, the actual homeowner, a Mr. George Thompson, has 4 other houses and says that he wants to stay in Oyster Bay but he can't because it's too expensive. He can't even stay in his own house that he owns because it's too expensive for him to stay there. That's how.
So, like, why
rich
does
it
he
is.
have it?
I don't know. He said he couldn't afford to live there.
So he rents it out.
keeping up with the Joneses.
Where is he living?
I don't know. He's probably dead now. Shit. All right. So this is kind of where we're going to on a map form. This doesn't look like Long Island at all. What the fuck is that? That's where we're going. Oyster Bay.
Mm-hmm.
So right there. All right. Now, Charles Warren is there with his family, and all of a sudden, his youngest daughter, becomes violently ill. And does anyone want to take a guess of what her illness is?
food poisoning?
No, it starts with a C and ends with a 19. 06. 1906. COVID 1906.
Okay, influenza. No, that was 1918. Right? Spanish flu?
I don't know. I wasn't alive.
Okay, I'm going to go with influenza.
No. Is this
Spanish flu.
Darren, is this your story or not? God dang it. You didn't even answer me.
He's
yet.
like, this. He said this sounds vaguely familiar.
Oh my God. Then why'd you request it? Okay, so.
Oh, Mickey DeMouse says typhoid, Shram says cholera, Natasha says tuberculosis. And Darren did say, yes, this is mine.
So typhoid is the correct answer. His youngest daughter becomes ill with typhoid fever. And in the same week, 5 more people showed symptoms. The mother, second daughter, 2 maids, and the gardener.
Oh, no.
Now,
How would the gardener catch it?
I'm not... I don't know.
How is it passed?
Playing in the mud.
Oh my God. How is typhoid transferred?
From the mud.
No. Oh my God. Answer the question for realsies.
Typhoid is transferred by unwashed hands is the most common. So a lot of cooks, right? A lot of food.
Oh,
now,
yes.
Typhoid is treatable nowadays, and I'm not going to get into the disease itself, but 10% of people that contract it die. And it is a pretty miserable illness. So you get like fever, abdominal cramps. You go into this typhoid state where you're just like hallucinating.
Can you pause this for a second so I can ask a question?
Can I pause
Pause what?
live?
I thought you had the ability to... I don't want to ruin it for everyone else.
Yes. Hold on. All right, it's paused.
Is it Typhoid Mary? I don't know the whole story, but is this about Typhoid Mary?
Okay, so I didn't pause it, and you need to stop watching true crime.
I don't watch true crime.
All right.
You didn't pause it?
No, I didn't. I can't pause. You can't pause
You've
it.
done
The
it
fuck?
before.
No, I just tell you I pause it and then let you say whatever the fuck you want to say, so we can laugh at it. Shit. So even the president stays here. Now this is a big thing because even the president stays at Oyster Bay. Okay, so now you got typhoid fever, which we're going to talk about, not the disease, but about who do you think contracts typhoid fever? You think?
Not wealthy people.
There you go. The typhoid fever is a dirty disease. It's an unsanitary disease. It's for the poor people. You know, the poor people living with, you know, all kinds of other people and not bathing, playing in the mud all the time. Those are the people who have typhoid, not in Oyster Bay. And it's very interesting. If you go back to 1906 in these newspaper archives, you will see a lot of news about Oyster Bay, but you will not see the fact that they got typhoid fever. There was a typhoid fever outbreak. They covered it up because if that got out, that would ruin that small community. Okay. So this is a huge problem to have. So they wanted to, instead of alert the media, and they had the money to do this, they wanted to solve it in-house.
Okay.
Because they
didn't want it to get out that they were invested. With
not
like
in Oyster Bay.
Yeah.
No, this is definitely not something they want to bring to this community at all.
No.
So they did this in-house. So the owner of the home, George Thompson, oh, excuse me, I already said that. Let me see. George, the owner of the home, the wealthy banker and his family, they're now sick. They decide to call in the experts privately. They first call a poop expert to look at the poop machinery, like a sewage expert, not poop. They first
You
call
just wanted to say poop. It's fine.
They first call a sewage expert to see, you know, is it spreading through the sewage? Is there a problem with the sewage that we need to figure out? They next called a dairy expert. Is there something wrong with the milk? You know, whatever.
Mad cow disease.
Nothing. Then they even interrogated an older lady that lives down by the beach and sells clams because they thought, I don't know if this is true or not, but you can get typhoid from local seafood. She was scrutinized, but they checked all of her clams and everything, and there was no bacteria relating to typhoid in any of her things in any of her seafood. All right. So eventually, now they're all out of ideas, but their daughter's in there dying and they got to figure out what's going on. So they called in another expert, George Soper, and we're going to talk a lot about this guy. This is him right here. Can you kind of describe this guy?
He looks like a villain.
Like there should be a cat in his lap that he's...
Yeah. He has a thick mustache.
Yep.
I like his coat.
And his hairline is receding a little bit. But that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
He's got a big old mustache.
I said that.
Oh. So, he's the expert. Now, he's a sanitary engineer. Quote, the doctor to 6 cities. He is extremely well known for his books that you guys have probably heard of in school. Number 1, the air and ventilation of subways, modern methods of street cleaning.
Riveting material. Yes.
and my personal favorite, further studies of European methods of street cleaning and waste disposals with suggestions.
Oh.
So he is the doctor to see where this sickness is coming from. All right. Now, can you read the wait, did I send you the first one? Wait, actually.
I don't know if you did.
No, actually, let me read this. This is from the book we were reading that we're going to talk about here in a second. George Soper looks from his photographs not to be a nice guy. He looks like someone who was bullied in high school, a nerd, a geek, an apple polishing dirt wonk with an unseemly interest in filth and how to make it go away.
A dirt gonk?
Dirt wonk.
Dirt wonk. That's a very interesting insult.
Try to guess what author that is that said that. Very famous guy. It's an amazing book. The incubation period lasts about 10 to 14 days. All right.
Okay.
This is how George Soper figures out that it was the cook, Mary Mallon, who transmitted this disease. Because she wasn't there at the time. She was only working at a specific interval. But since he knew the incubation period lasted between 10 and 14 days long, he went back and noticed that on the 4th, the Warrens had just hired a new cook, a Mary Mallon, who, as soon as the family gets sick, she bolts. Not even getting her paycheck. She just leaves.
Okay.
So
she knew she was carrying it.
So now they had to find her and question her. But that's going to be really difficult because she didn't leave any like address or anything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So the police were dispatched to find this Mary, 40-something tall, buxom, blonde hair, blue eyes, firm mouth and jaw. She was a, quote, pretty good cook, although many past employees said that she had an anger problem and she was not the cleanest at all. She would never wash her hands. All right. What do you guys think so far?
Sounds like she might have a motive to...
All right.
Like maybe she just has something against the wealthy. Maybe someone did her dirty or something.
This is the book we're reading tonight. Definitely recommend it. It's not really true crime. This was a request, and I wouldn't have done the story if I didn't find this book. There's a lot of books on it, but there's only one that I wanted to read for the story, and it's this one right here.
By Anthony Bourdain.
Anthony Bourdain. He killed himself not too long ago. Typhoid Mary. He wrote an entire book. Now, Anthony Bourdain is a chef. Was a chef. And what are you going to say?
Wait, but like this looks older than like his time. Did he do that on purpose?
No, New York Times Review.
No, this is him. This
I'm
was
just
actually
saying, like it just doesn't look like a modern book cover.
I think he wrote this in 2010. But so this is by Anthony Bourdain of Kitchen Confidential. This is the only book you should read because he tells it. All right. Let me.
I had no idea he wrote a book about that.
It's really fucking well done. And let me just say right quick. Every other story, every other podcast or whatever who talks about Typhoid Mary, when you hear the name, it's got that evil kind of, she's going around spreading this disease and killing people. Mm-hmm. No one knows how many she's killed. Some say 50, some people say hundreds, maybe even more.
Wow.
She is known for causing these typhoid outbreaks. Now, 10% of the population who gets typhoid ends up dying, so no one actually knows how many she's killed. Okay? Wow. But every paper you read, every video you watch, every book you read, and every podcaster that tells a story, I can promise you they have a negative connotation on Typhoid Mary. However, Anthony Bourdain tells it differently. In this book, instead of blaming her, he's actually telling her story. Like, who is she? You know, she's a cook. I'm a cook. Or not me, you know, Anthony Bourdain. He's a chef.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Mallon's a chef, and a damn good one from what people say.
Mm-hmm.
You know, what's her life about? Mary Mallon, Typhoid Mary, was a cook, a chef, which now, thanks to pop culture, we look on with you know, like nowadays, like we think about a chef, they're
Celebrities.
Mm-hmm. But in that time, in 1906, a chef was the bottom rung of society.
Yeah.
I mean, poor people wouldn't even want to be chefs. The chef was just completely the lowest point you could be as a
Because you're the
cook.
help. Like,
Yeah,
you are helping. Because there's not, like, really that many restaurants and stuff like that, like there are today, you know?
Yeah, exactly. So Anthony Bourdain tells the story of Mary and tells what it's like being her and gives her a voice. I think this is a really well done book. If you want to read number 1. So everything you're going to be reading tonight is from him, Anthony Bourdain's book, unless there is some newspaper articles I pulled from George Soper. He's the other character in the story. It's his words.
Okay.
But most of it's Anthony Bourdain's writing.
Anthony Bourdain went to the same culinary school around the same time as my parents.
No way.
Nice.
The CIA. She was a woman. She was Irish. She was poor. None of these listed on a resume in 1906 was going to put you on the fast track to the White House or a corporate boardroom or even a box seat at the opera. Because first and foremost, Mary Mallon was a cook. And her story, first and foremost, is the story of a cook.
So I know this isn't like a regular episode, but I kind of wanted something light. And like I said, this is a fantastic book. It definitely required for any chef wannabe, because he tells it. I mean, I don't know much about Anthony Bourdain, but the way he talks, like his whole life as a chef, everything he thinks about is you know, the consistency of, you know, food and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It gave me a whole new outlook on food. I'm telling you that. Anyway. So let's move on. Questions to keep in mind in this episode when you're listening to this. Mary, as you'll see, she was poor. She's Irish. She's trash. She's looked down on, but she was always working, taking jobs that even the American poor wouldn't take. She was also completely uneducated. She grew up in a poor family, never had any education, could barely even speak correctly, and she was just the bottom of the ladder, but she was also asymptomatic. Do you know what that means?
Yeah, she didn't have any symptoms.
Sort of.
So she like didn't know that she even had it, maybe?
All right, so the fact that you guys can't really, and I couldn't either, really define what that means, asymptomatic, which means you're a carrier of a disease, but you don't actually get everyone else, but you don't actually ever get sick. The reason that
Isn't that what we said?
Kinda.
The reason that you guys didn't know the correct definition, and I didn't either, you think about that and then ask yourself, well, how the fuck would Mary, an uneducated immigrant, know what that means?
Also, yeah, in 1906.
So, can you read number 2? I hope you guys like this. I know it's kind of different.
Like Mary, I've worked for private clients, briefly. Had I stay on, had my boss asked me one more time for an egg white omelet and no butter or oil in the pan, I surely would have grabbed hold of his skull, squeezed until his eyeballs popped out of his head like pachinko balls. Had I worked in homes of rich and silly circa 1906, I would have murdered them in their beds with the nearest available blunt object.
Wow.
So, that's his own words.
Yep.
About typhoid in 1906, this is a filth disease. These are the people that you don't hang around with. Sure as hell, you'll never find this disease in a rich family, especially in Oyster Bay. Now, the speculation at the time rose from, the only reason I know what that is because Will the pill talks about it on 1,000 settlers. Like I said, only 10% of people usually die when they get it. The South African War, and this is true with a lot of wars, the South African War between the British and South Africa, Britain lost 13,000 troops to typhoid fever. 13,000 troops to typhoid fever. How many do you think they lost on the battlefield? 8,000.
Wow.
They lost 13,000 to typhoid and 8,000 on the battlefield. The symptoms: prolonged high fever up to 105 degrees, powerful headaches, nausea, no appetite, cough, hoarseness, diarrhea, constipation, skin rashes, inflammation, abdominal tenderness. And then you get what's called the typhoid state, where you start hallucinating and then eventually you die. An estimated, even nowadays, 11 to 20 million people still get sick from typhoid fever. And it's also making a comeback nowadays. So, but it's becoming more resistant to what we're trying to put out.
So it's like people are getting the disease more and more again?
Yeah, exactly. And it's becoming, it's like that super bug where it adapts. You know, every year we have to make our irrigation chemicals more powerful. I don't know if you know that, because every year the bugs and stuff like that, and they get stronger. That's what the superbug theory is, because at one point we're not going to wash your hand and you serve the food with your bacteria on it, and the whole family's eating that. That's why everyone's getting it. You know what I'm saying? She didn't get it though, because she was asymptomatic. It's like the guy that it's like what is it, like ground zero of the COVID thing? The person that has
patient zero.
Patient zero doesn't actually die from it or something like that. He just gives it to everyone, type of shit. I don't know, something like that. But she never actually showed any symptoms of it. They actually eventually found it in her gallbladder. That's where it was, and it was just hanging out there. And she would give it to everyone, but you know. Anyway, they made her out to be a freaking monster, that she was just going around giving this shit to people.
But you would think, like, she must have known, given the fact that all of her employers left immediately after this case in Oyster Bay.
Or maybe she left because she thought that people were going to think she was doing it on purpose and was trying to evade prosecution.
Maybe. But right, like I think she knew that there was something wrong, and maybe that she you know, it was just for a job, pay, you know, anything, like it didn't necessarily matter to her. And also she probably didn't know what to do with it for a cure, right? That's my assumption.
You gotta remember, she, like, I'm gonna say she's a poor immigrant just trying to like get by. Like, what is she supposed to do? A doctor actually tested her before all this and showed that there was nothing, that there was no typhoid in her.
Interesting.
So
but
she already she was
asymptomatic.
She already had a test of this, and she was told by an expert. The thing is, you have this guy, this George Soper, who is trying to make a name for himself, and he is kind of a twerp, as Anthony Bourdain said. He is this small guy. He's trying to make this name in the world. He's trying to be the guy that stopped Typhoid Mary, and he's just like a little, you know, a little twerp. And the way he handles it is he goes and try to immediately like blame her and arrest her and accuse her of all these things and get samples from her while she's at work, type of shit, you know. Anyway, so following the trail of man, and sorry for the feed, guys. I don't know what the internet's doing, man. I mean, we could try to restart the internet. I have no fucking clue. I don't know. It's not. I
don't know. I think we gotta keep rolling at this point.
I don't know, man. All right.
Because I think it got better again, and then it
went bad again.
All right. So 1904, she worked for Henry Gilsey, and 4 out of 7 of those people got sick. J. Coleman in Dark Harbor, Maine, 1902, 7 of 9 people got sick. 1901, she caused an entire outbreak in New York. That's where no one knows how many died from that, because that was a big outbreak. And now we don't know for certain if it was her, but, you know, it's quite possibly it was, you know what I'm saying? and she caused that huge outbreak.
Particularly with the 7 to 14 day incubation period, like people can. I know travel wasn't nearly as fast as it was, then as it is today, but like that is still enough time for a whole city to.
Yeah, that's true.
It.
All right, so side note here before we go any further. So we've covered plenty of these immigrant cases, like Joe Arity being one of them that we talked about, the immigration. Think about immigration today. It's such a heated topic, but look at it back in the 1900s. You have immigrants coming over from Italy, Ireland, China. The Chinese are the ones that built our railroads. You have all these immigrants coming over, and they're bringing diseases over here. They are, okay? Not on purpose, but we're not accustomed to their bacteria.
And same vice versa.
So it's very heated. But the thing is, and this doesn't sound good to say, but it's the truth. This whole country was built on the backs of immigrants and slaves. End of story.
Quite literally, the people who came to America were seeking religious refuge and were immigrants to us. So that's why, I think that's why one of the reasons that immigration is such a heated topic today.
There's a story out there I kind of want to do. No one's proven it yet, but so a lot of the Chinese immigrants came over to build our railroads, but they think that at the bottom of certain spots in certain lakes, like beyond reach, like really far down, if you go way down there, you'll see the bones of Chinese people, like
the immigrants that
like 100 of them that built the railroads chained together.
Wow.
They think that the government threw them in there.
That's not
because
fair.
after they built the railroads, we didn't want to pay them anymore. Just got rid of them. Where did they go? There's not a lot of Chinese people here in this country.
Well,
and there was
the West Coast.
there was a lot here building the railroads. Anyway, all right. So in 1901, New York had a large break of typhoid, and typhoid, like I said, is a filth disease. It's a poor man's disease. And let me see. So there was a 2-year break in her resume, and he says, "Where is she? Of course I did not know, for Mary is clever, and she hardly ever works under the same name at 2 different places."
Oh.
So he's trying to be like this pseudo detective, and he's just really annoying. The government actually makes fun of him too, as you're going to see here in a minute. He finally found Mary Mallon in March of 1907 in Park Avenue, New York City. A family she was working for had just gotten sick. The homeowner's daughter, quote, a beautiful young woman in her 20s, was lying on her deathbed. And this is what George Soper says, quote, "Imagine my surprise and utter joy when I found the famous germ carrier working as a cook in that household. He shows up at her work, accusing her of spreading diseases. He's demanding her to give over bodily fluid samples as she's working, causing this huge scene. So being Mary, and you'll see Mary is she is a no shit type of person, Irish. When he shows up and chases this guy out, and she was going to kill him.
Wow.
If you want to read number 4.
Dr. Soper. Mary seized a carving fork and advanced in my direction. I passed rapidly down the long, narrow hall, through the tall iron gate, and so to the sidewalk. I felt rather lucky to have escaped.
All right. He finally tracked her down at the seedy hotel. She was staying on 33rd Street and 3rd Avenue in New York. Well, 3rd Avenue is a pretty famous kind of area. But the hotel she was staying in was really low end. There was a dog in the room. There was an alcoholic man who she apparently loved that was in the room as well. It was extremely unsanitary. He tries to confront Mary again, and the same thing. She's yelling at him, running after him, trying to kill him, and he's just running away, squirrely, running away. And then that's when he finally contacts the government. So if you want to read number 5.
Mary knew a few things with terrible certainty at this point. She knew how serious Soper was, the degree of trouble she was in, and the apparent inescapability of it. He'd identified her secret companion, been inside her squalid little love nest or refuge, unmasked her, surely to his satisfaction, as a common slut.
So a little bit about her real name, Mary Mallon. Typhoid Mary is now what everyone knows about her, which that kind of implies like an evil intent, like she's actually going to do this thing.
Mm-hmm.
But in fact, who was she? She was a large woman, Irish, and she was poor. She was a carrier of this, but she didn't know it, and she got tested, and the doctors found nothing before this guy even, was chasing her down. So, is it really her fault that people were getting sick? Can you really blame her as this? She fled to the U.S. when she was 15. She was penniless. When she lived in Ireland, she lived in the Cookstown County, Tyrone, Ireland in 1869. That's when she was born. And that is the lowest population, or that is the poorest county to have been in, is where she was born. So she comes over and she is working her ass off trying to move up on the American ladder, and you have this guy trying to ruin everything and just trying to make a name. Anthony Bourdain says this about her duty as a chef, if you want to read number 6.
The chef is the absolute leader. Food is always served on time. Cold food is served cold. Hot food is served hot. No one is late. No one calls in sick. Let me repeat that. No one calls in sick.
All right. So we know for a fact that she's killed at least 3 people. Some people say it's 50. Some people say it's hundreds. It depends on if she caused that outbreak in New York City or not. You know what I'm saying? But you can't really tell. But that's like blaming that dude eating a bat in China. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to put him, you're not going to hang the guy because he ate a bat.
People kind of have socially hanged him.
Yeah. It's like you eat a bat and then we put RFID chips in everybody. Like, come on, man. All right. All right. So anyway, Mary, she kind of grew up. She wanted to come to America like everyone else, to live this American dream, which is basically here, be our slaves, which is basically what we did. That's like what North Korea did. I don't know if you know So a lot of South Koreans moved willingly to North Korea to this new push forward, and they had the propaganda like everyone is rich.
Everyone's
Yeah.
well fed and happy.
And then you move over there and you're stuck. You know, it's the same kind of shit. Mm-hmm. But Mary didn't want to raise a family. She didn't want to be like her grandmothers. She would rather be independent. She was a cigarette smoking, self-indulgent woman, Irish woman with a horrible attitude and just the foulest mouth you can get. But she worked her ass off. So, all right. Now, Dr. Soper, he goes and he gets the government's help trying to catch Mary, and they were completely unimpressed with his background and what he's done so far. He said that the city of New York City says, listen, man, all you've done is make matters much worse. You can't go in there and start accusing someone of anything. You know what I'm saying? It should have been an easy task, and you completely screwed it up. So we don't even want you talking to Mary Mallon again. Okay, so can you read number 7?
Mm-hmm. He sounds like a frightened man, a man making excuses for being physically intimidated by a woman, a man who smells the punk inside himself. Soper confronted himself with later imitations that Mary wasn't really a woman anyway, certainly not a proper one.
So George Soper, he kind of disregards the city and he shows up with an assistant. This assistant is one of his interns. It's a male, taller, basically a de facto bodyguard, because he was so scared of Mary Mallon skinning him alive, right? The city found out about it and they were really pissed. And this time they demanded him not to go alone, and they actually assigned him someone, a doctor, to go with him to keep him in line. And it was a woman they assigned it to. They said, you obviously can't do this job. We're going to put this woman and she's going to do this job. Her name was Dr. Josephine Baker. She calmly went...
Name of a famous.
Listen, the name rings a bell, but
She goes calmly and talks to Mary, but at this point, Mary was already with this soap refused any sample. So the next day, the Department of Health in their horse-drawn carriages with 5 police officers, they show the state. Mary Mallon, and Mary Mallon is like as tall as Jen is, 6'1" or whatever, and just a big eye, seeing all day.
no,
I mean,
not cigarettes.
That not.
she's
Not
very Mary Mallon is very intimidating. Okay, cops coming into this house. Mary Mallon lifts up the window and she jumps outside and actually climbs a high fence. But one of the cops. Can you read number 8?
If she was so sick, how come it had taken 5 policemen to sick person do that? Could a sick person jump out the window, climb a high fence, then wrestle 5 policemen to the ground and curse the lot of them? It was persecution. Simple as that.
She fought and explained. Then she could go back. Again, refused, and I told the policeman to pick her up in her. And the ride down to the hospital was quite a wild one. 5 strong New York City policemen were needed to restrain her because she was so fucking badass, right? I mean, to restrain.
Jeez.
The Dr. Josephine
She
Baker.
was a fighter.
They had her tied down, and Dr. Baker in the ambulance to the hospital had to sit on her chest. To keep her from like squirming. Crazy. Can you read number 9?
Mary, in high-necked uniform, apron and skirts, duked it out with 5 tough red-faced coppers and making a damn good show of it, all while spouting an impressive barrage of unladylike obscenities.
You know what's interesting, though, is that like they put in emphasis on her being, well, maybe it's just John putting emphasis on her being Irish, but the Irish people were often known to be police officers as well. It was a common profession.
Interesting.
For them.
Sorry about the lagging, man. I don't know what else to do. I mean, it's not our shit.
Just keep
Actually,
going.
it's what the fuck? It might be your fucking internet. I don't know.
Just keep going. I know we're almost done, and we can try to try something else for the next one.
Fuck. I mean,
just keep going.
We're almost done.
Yeah. I mean, let me try my phone. Maybe I don't think it was my phone that messed up. Let me try this real quick. See if this maybe help it. Fucking bullshit, man. Yeah, because it's now it's saying it's really fucked up. All right, I don't know if we're going to be able to do the next one then, honestly, man. If I can't figure it out. It's our internet. It's got to be. There's nothing wrong with the system.
Can we reset it in between?
Yeah, we can try it.
Yeah.
And see if it works.
All right, well.
All right, so basically what happened to Mary Mallon at the end? They villainized her. They locked her up in quarantine, and she basically died in quarantine. And it was in Brothers Island. It's like an island. They have islands for quarantining people in New York. And that's where she spent her life. She died there.
That's kind of sad.
It is very sad. Anthony Bourdain says it was persecution, simple as that. It was their rotten lot that was sick. They were the ones obsessed by shit and piss and indecent things. Wow. The ones who wanted to put the knife on her, cut out her gallbladder. They wanted to know about her family, her friends, what she got up to with gentlemen, so they could spread their lies. Nosy Parkers. More than likely, they'd like to track them down as well, maybe lock them up. So that's what they did. That's what the city did. They just basically put her in quarantine until she died.
Wow.
And it's really sad.
Yeah.
Because, you know, she,
you would think that she could have been like treated and released.
They villainized her. This dude, George Soper, he's a fucking twerp. You know, he made her look like a villain.
Yeah.
And, you know, the thing is, she's not. I mean, she didn't choose to be asymptomatic, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And plus, she didn't know. Oh, yeah, people were getting sick. Maybe, you know, what the fuck? You think, she's not sick. The asymptomatic was not a thing.
Right.
Like, all right, if everyone else in the family is getting sick, how would you think that?
Immune,
How would you think that you're giving it to them? That didn't make any fucking sense. That means that you don't get the disease. Like, that didn't make any sense.
Or at least back in 1906.
Yeah, and to a poor Irish woman who's just trying to get by, you know what I'm saying? So you can read number 10.
No trial, no judge. One day safe in her kitchen, the next locked up in solitary confinement. White room, white bed, white sheets, white robe. Questions every day. Strangers coming to gape. And more questions. She wasn't going to tell them anything. Not a fucking word.
She didn't say anything the whole time.
Wow.
She was there for like 30 years until she died.
Wow. Wow. I didn't even know that Typhoid Mary was actually like.
You thought it was like an urban legend or something?
Yeah, or like, you know how I guess I kind of just assumed it was more like, you know how like storms have names?
Oh, yeah.
I just kind of didn't realize there was a real person behind it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad, man, because they made her out to be shit, you know.
It's crazy.
Anyway, well, we're gonna try to restart this internet, and hopefully that works. Sorry about all this, man. Livestream, and this week has been terrible. So the store, we're trying here, man. You got to give me a little break for this week.
I think that was a good story. You got to give yourself some credit.
Yeah, that was super interesting.
Yeah, but that's the Mary Mallon story. But anyway, we'll definitely
try to reboot the router.
Yeah.
Say 15 minutes.
Also on the Discord, guys, we're putting on, so I write all the blog posts, which are really well written. The one we wrote yesterday was great. The end of that story. Anyway, those are all free for supporters. So get on the Discord. I'm posting them all there. If you're not a supporter, it's that medium.com. And I think they give you like one free article or some shit like that. And then you have to pay.
I think it's like $5 a month.
$5 a month. But
so if you're a supporter,
if you're a supporter, I put the free links in there, which are called friend links. So you don't have to pay anything.
Oh, perfect.
I didn't know they could do that. So I just started adding I added all of them in there. And
nice.
we're writing blogs as much as we can, for all these episodes, because I've been so bad at posting pictures and shit. Anyway, all right. I guess that's it. We're going to try to restart the internet and be back in 15 minutes. So.
All right.
Sounds good.
See y'all.
Yeah. I hope you guys enjoy that. Until next time, good night, you lovely, lovely people.